And the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention has issued a public health alert warning of rising cases of cholera, yellow fever and dengue fever resulting from the floods across the country. This was released in a statement by Director General of the agency on cholera. The NCDC stated that as of June, 34 states reported cases, with Zamfara State accounting for 32% of all suspected cases. On yellow fever, the agency stated that suspected cases have been reported across the country, with 7 confirmed cases in 6 states. A single confirmed case of yellow fever is considered an outbreak. The NCDC also confirmed an outbreak of dengue fever in Edo State. The outbreak was confirmed through laboratory testing and underscores the growing risk posed by vector-borne diseases. The NCDC says it has increased surveillance to prevent further outbreaks.
Well, we have 2 gentlemen joining us for Newsnight tonight. Abdullahi Usur is the Director, Relief and Rehabilitation, NEMA, and Ibrahim Wasiu, Deputy General Manager, Public Weather Services, NIMET. Both agencies will offer updates on preparedness and, of course, the risk areas. Thank you, both of you, for joining us on Newsnight tonight. Let me start with you, Ibrahim Wasiu. You're the Deputy General Manager, Public Weather Services, NIMET. Well, it's not the first time. I mean, honestly, it's not the first time that Nigerians will be, getting this flood alerts. But what do we need to know right now in terms of the extent of the risk that this oncoming floods pose, and of course what level of preparedness should we be seeing, both on your part and of course on the part of the communities?
Yeah, thank you. You will recall that the Nigerian Meteorological Agency is saddled with the core mandate to observe, analyze and collate meteorological data for timely and accurate reporting of weather and climate information, for socioeconomic development and safety of life and property, for preparedness, for resilience, for building resilience, for planning, So it's on these premises that the agency usually, at any time when there is need, when there is call for such, we quickly swing to action to, sensitize the public, issue the warning, issue the alert. Particularly at the beginning of this month, you have a July, weather outlook that says flash flood, risk alert to educate states, stakeholders, government agencies, individuals, of the possibility of having flood as a result of, heavy rainfall, that are likely to occur within a very short period. And that is why we issue, that, outlook for the public to be well informed, because when you already know what is likely to happen, you'll be able to plan. It's actually for planning, to take an informed decision and appropriate action.
What kind of decisions really? What kind of planning should,
Yeah, planning,
in terms of...
Planning varies, individual planning from government, from even, community. From individual, for instance, you need to be well informed. You need to also know if your area is one of the flood hotspots. You need to identify that. You need to know where are the safe, high grounds where you can move to in case if such flood occur. You need to also, avoid dumping refuse along the waterways. Don't build along the waterway also, because this could also, disrupt the free flow of water, and some other proactive measures that an individual should do. Community too should also, there should be a community-based watch group where community come together to also, sensitize their people, to also make sure that they carry out some precautionary measures to ensure that their community is not flooded. Support also to, vulnerable groups, the pregnant women, the children, the elderly people, is also part of the preparedness that people should be well informed. People should prepare ahead before, it happens.
All right, Mr. Abdullahi Usur, we did not forget you. Let me bring you into this conversation, Director Relief and Rehabilitation of NEMA. So what is NEMA doing at this point? And I ask because you've heard from the Ministry of Environment talking about the rising water levels. What does that really mean for NEMA in terms of infrastructure, food, and shelter for the people?
Thank you. Good evening, Nigerians. I bring you greetings from the Director General National Emergency Management Agency, Mrs. Zubaida Omar. The mandate of NEMA, as we all know, for the purpose of information, again, is to coordinate disaster management in the country at national, federal level, particularly at national level, and also to support sub-national governments. So immediately, NIMET releases its climate predictions, and then NISA releases their flood forecast. That's a flood forecast. NEMA normally gathers relevant stakeholders, the experts, and then they look at this information together, and then they now come up with sensitization information where they go down. Then from there, NEMA picks up, it writes to all the state governments, tell them what their state, each state, what the state is expected, the local government that are expected to be affected based on NISA's flood forecast. So from there, again, after we've written to the state governors and tell them to start preparing, then we go ahead and also prepare our sensitization programs. We go to all the 36 states and do sensitization. We educate people based on the NIMET and NISA releases. Look, this community, this state, this area, these are what I expected of you. This is what was forecasted, and these are what people are expected to do to prepare for the disaster in case it happens. Preparedness comes before even the situation happens. We have different stages of disaster management. We have preparedness, we have mitigation, we have response, and then recovery. At the preparedness level is very important because that is where you inform people, you prepare, you gather, you sensitize people, you also stockpile where you need to stockpile, you also work together with state governments to identify safe grounds where you move people. We go around our stakeholders and find out their equipment position and their preparedness rate.
Yeah, Mr. Usur, I just wanted to ask you, because you seem to be towing the same line as Mr. Omar here. When you say preparedness, awareness, how much of this message is being received? It's one thing to give this information, it's another thing to receive it and actually, operationalize it. So we give all of this awareness yearly, but then we end up having disasters. How are you making sure that those in the grassroots, like we had in Mokwa, are receiving this message and are acting upon it?
Yes, what we do is, just like I said, NEMA at the national level, we cannot go to each and every community or each and every local government, even talk less of community. So we work together with state governments. They have just the law that establishes NEMA also provides for the establishment of state emergency management agencies and even local emergency committees. So NEMA will now downscale those things to states, and the states are expected to pick up from where we stop and downscale them to local governments and community levels. And this we have done in all the 36 states. We have even gone with the state emergency management agencies to some communities because we cannot go to all the communities. But I can assure you this has been ongoing even as we speak now. The sensitizations are going. We are doing radio, television sensitization, and in the states are expected to downscale them into the local communities where they use their local radios in their own vernacular. So the sensitization is massive, but Nigeria is wide, but of course the sensitization will continue on regular basis. Apart from that, we also use community. We collaborate with NOA, National Orientation Agency, who have offices in all the 774 local governments. We work together with them. We work with community leaders So the sensitization is really not out of supply, but sometimes it's for people to heed to what they are told. Even just like you said, the Mokwa, at the time the Mokwa incident was happening, NEMA was actually doing sensitization in Niger State on the issue of flood. But you know, the Mokwa issue was what we call onset disaster, something that suddenly came without notice.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Well, stakeholders have said, look, it's not enough to, for governors to ask people to move from the lowlands to higher ground and wait for disaster palliative distributions. They need to be more proactive. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us on Newsnight. Abdullahi Usur is the Director, Relief and Rehabilitation, NEMA, and Ibrahim Wasiu, Deputy General Manager, Public Weather Services, NIMET. Thanks for joining us, gentlemen.